Blog Talk Radio.
Thank you and welcome so much for joining us today on May We Help You's Blog Talk Radio. My name is Letitia and I am the owner of May We Help You, LLC. Today is February 28th and it's currently a nice 55 degrees here in Richmond, Virginia, and you're tuning into our premiere show. Well, today we're going to be discussing why businesses partner with Arise Virtual Solutions. We have two great independent business owners joining us today to talk about becoming an independent contractor and how we, May We Help You Included, are partnering with Arise to bring you these awesome opportunities. Please welcome Melissa Courtney, owner of Courtney Virtual Solutions, LLC, and Sean Poland from Spolan Solutions, Incorporated. Also joining us is Janice from West Orange, who has recently begun her career with Arise and works for one of the largest tax preparation services. We are hosting this blog on Google Hangouts within the community of May We Help You. You can also ask questions through facebook.com/MWHYLLC or on Twitter, and make sure to use @LA_DEE05 in your post, and we'll be able to view it and comment live on the air. And, of course, we have an email here on the show as well as a chat room. If you log in, you can interact with us live on the show, and that is at www.blogtalkradio.com/MWHYLLC. First, to tell you a little bit about Arise Virtual Solutions. Arise opened as Willow CSN in 2004, later changing its name to Arise Virtual Solutions. The goal of Arise is to provide virtual solution options to companies that was using outsourcing as a way to save them millions. Now, the CEOs of Arise constantly campaign with more and more Fortune 500 companies to allow contractors to work from home, doing the same thing that they were doing with a lot of the outsourcing itself. So a way for them to save millions was to provide us with the jobs here in the U.S. and in Canada and save on those resources for training costs and international resources for those 500 companies, the Fortune 500 companies. So it was kind of a win-win on both ends. Now today, Arise not only gains new contracts each month, but is responsible for some of the independent business owners becoming the new millionaires and trendsetters for different businesses throughout the U.S., Canada, United Kingdom, and now Ireland. Now, I am proud to introduce my first guest, Melissa Courtney, owner of Courtney Virtual Solutions, LLC. Melissa started her virtual service career as a Arise client support professional before she started her own company, and now partners with contractors throughout the U.S. Melissa has also become a great asset to the clients she currently works for as a team leader or chat PF throughout the years. Melissa understands that working from home can feel isolated, so she sets up a bi-weekly meeting for her and her group to share and commune between each other. She also Melissa, welcome to May We Help You. Can you hear me, Melissa?
Yes, thank you for having me.
Excellent. Thank you so much for being on here. And we definitely know that there's a lot of different challenges when deciding to be a business owner, so I just want to congratulate you first on taking that step and doing that. But could you please just tell us a little bit more about your personal experience with Arise and how you and your company has run more like a family-style partnership than a hiring solutions company?
Oh, definitely. First, I would just like to say that I definitely cannot say enough about Arise. Arise truly saved my health, and partnering with Arise was the best career move that I could have made. I've contracted with other at-home companies temporarily, but realized right away that, Arise definitely was the best option for me as well as my CSPs. Our company differs from other IBOs just because I like my company to have that team feel to it. even though they're subcontractors, I like to involve them in, decision making for the business, just
Sure.
as if they were employees. I feel, when your employees are happy, you're happy, and you have a great business going. I'm going to start offering incentives to CSPs after they've been with the company, and it keeps them happy, and it gives them something to work towards.
Absolutely, absolutely. And that's what I think as IBOs we're all definitely looking for, to have a great feeling for the people that we bring on board, to build them up to one day want to be their own business owners as well.
Oh, yes, definitely.
Now, as far as, what kind of sets you apart, what does it do? What is it that your IBO does that's kind of different than the norm?
I would say mainly because I form pretty close relationships with my CSPs. And again, I like to involve them in my business decision making, just as if, they were employees. I'm constantly looking and searching for new ways to improve that will not only benefit the business as a whole, but the CSPs as well. I have a company that I've been kind of talking with a little bit, who shall remain anonymous at this point, but they may actually donate funds to the company to help cover cost of client courses, CSP 101, and even background checks. And, if everything goes through as anticipated, we may possibly be able to help with the cost of a new computer as well, for those who may not have one and may not have the extra money to purchase one. I found many times that this is what, keeps people from taking advantage of the opportunity. And my business, I know how it changed my life, and I definitely would like to be able to change the lives of others.
Absolutely. And, I definitely love to hear when we have different programs, just trying to make sure that we get something different for the CSPs. They're definitely worth our efforts to gain that extra funding if we can get it. And I wish you luck in getting that.
Thank you.
A lot of different companies can get something if they can, and I'm definitely looking forward to hearing a report back if you do.
Oh, definitely.
Now, how do you keep your availability for your CSPs as a single business owner itself?
Well, I'm pretty much available 24 hours a day if I need be. If they need assistance with a client, computer issues, or simply, just need to talk, I make myself readily available to them, to all of them as needed. I want them to know that even though they're working at home virtually, they're not alone. And that we are out there and available to assist them with anything that they may encounter, just anything is needed.
Absolutely.
Also, if they find they're interested in incorporating and contracting with Arise directly, we also help with that. I find that, if you keep them happy, again, your business runs smoother, everybody's happy, and they stay around for a while.
Now, that is awesome, and they do. They do tend to, when you put in that extra effort and assist with additional training and anything that a client support professional would need, they definitely stick around for a long time, and they become your headhunters and bring more people in because they know that you're willing to take the time. Now, do you have any other incentives or any other things that your business is currently offering?
Well, I'm constantly working on incentives and ideas to improve the business, to benefit everybody as a whole. Basically, if they've been around if they've been with the company for 90 days, what I'm going to do is check into, if this other program with the company doesn't go through, I'm going to check into trying to, reimburse them at least
Absolutely.
for the client course.
Absolutely.
And that kind of gives them that incentive as well. And, again, I constantly look for new ways to improve and new incentives. And, CSPs, help me with that as well. Help me come up with ideas of, they're the ones that are going to be working towards that incentive, to earn that incentive, and I would like it to be something that they would like to see happen. It makes them want to work for it, and gives them a goal.
Awesome. Well, Melissa, I just want to thank you so much for explaining more about your partnership itself with the Rise and just the business success that you guys have had so far. And we thank you so much for being on the show today.
Thank you.
Now, if you're just tuning in with us, this is our premiere show for the May We Help You's Blog Talk Radio, and we welcome everyone who's hanging out with us in the Google Plus or have called in to listen to the show that are watching live from the website or even on YouTube. You guys are all awesome, and we see your numbers here, and we appreciate your support. Now, we were talking about our partnership with Arise. Arise is where we provide the contracts from so that you can work for Fortune 500 companies from the comfort of your home. Today we've been interviewing 2 independent business owners and CEOs. We've already heard from Melissa Courtney, owner of Courtney Virtual Solutions, LLC. Next we have Sean Poland. He is CEO of Spolin Solutions Incorporated. And Sean is also a premier partner, and that's really huge to be a premier partner with the Rise. And he's an up-and-coming IBO that gives away monthly gifts to those who service with him. And Sean and his team leader, Talina, along with his pal Brody, manages over 60 independent contractors. He also gives his independent contractors a choice in how they want to be managed, and that's really big. And he also raises funds through a charity link on his site to help pay for upfront costs to those who want to join Spolin to partner with the Rise. And I'm just coming to you now, Sean. And Sean, welcome to the May We Help You Blog Talk Radio Show.
Thank you for having me here.
Excellent. And as I was saying, Sean, I know that there's a lot of different companies available that we can choose from here. And, you know, we all love Arise for different reasons. Do you care to share with us the love of your partnership with Arise and more about your unique programs with your company?
Sure, I'd love to. Spolin Solutions and Arise have both really changed so much since I started contracting with Arise back in 2009. I love partnering with them because they're constantly changing to make the environment better for the independent business owners and the client support professionals. I've partnered with other work-at-home companies before, and really Arise isn't just better than those companies. They knock them out of the park. With the last company I spoke to, I never once spoke to an actual person who represented that company. I received some emails, and that was about it. But with Arise, I've spoken to performance facilitators, performance compliance lead, client result managers, directors, and I've actually met in person with people from Arise who took time out of their day really just to get the feedback from an actual independent business owner to see what they can do to make the environment better for everybody. So they've changed a lot since I started, and I think we're going to see a lot more changes in the upcoming year alone. That's just going to be great for all of us.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Now, you know, as I was saying prior, you know, it's a lot of different independent business owners. We call them IBOs. That are partner with Arise. And for someone who is new or existing CSP, you know, they can choose from so many different companies. And what makes your company a little bit different from some of the others?
Well, I'm glad you used the word different instead of better, because I know a lot of people ask which IBO is the best, and I'll be the first to admit that I don't think any IBO is really the best. I don't think my IBO is the best, and I think it's really hard to judge because each CSP may want something different from the IBO that they join. And with our IBO, I'll be the first to admit that we haven't really paid a lot of upfront costs for our CSPs. We really haven't found a cost-efficient way to do that. We like to take as much money as we make and really pay out as much money as we can to our CSPs. Now, at the same time, we know that having the funds to start up are a little more difficult. So, as you said previously, we have started a fundraiser. I believe we're only at about $75 in the fundraiser, but our goal ultimately is $5,000 or even more. And with the plans that we have in the works right now, if everything goes according to plan for us as well, we should be able to really get to that goal and hopefully exceed that goal. So we can raise money to help those CSPs, not just under our IBO, but other IBOs as well, so everybody can have the chance to work at home if they want it.
Absolutely. And, that's definitely great news that you guys are offering a fundraiser. And I know that's the way that some IBOs are going. Not a lot of them are. But for the ones that are, it's just another avenue for us to know, because we've been there, done that. So we know the struggle of, having to raise that fund, and we're actually contributing towards different areas that we can get that money for them, especially if they show the drive that they want to get into the business. Now, what else would you say makes your IBO kind of just stick out of the pack a little bit from other IBOs currently with Arise?
Well, I think our level of support sort of makes us stick out from others. We always get feedback from our CSPs about our level of support, and right now we have myself on the East Coast. We have our team lead, Talina, on the West Coast, and between the time difference, we're really available between just about 10 a.m. Eastern until about 1 a.m. Eastern, 7 days a week. Additionally, with the support system that we use, we allow our CSPs to actually leave feedback on our email responses. So if we're slow, if we're really quick, we can get that feedback, and our CSPs are so comfortable being in this environment that they're okay with telling us when maybe we're not meeting the expectation that they originally had with us, or maybe when we're not even meeting our own expectations. So we're constantly looking at that feedback and changing it, and it's funny to look back at what level of support I gave when I started the IBO by myself and what kind of level of support we give now, and it's very exciting to see that change in that short amount of time, and to almost wonder what it's going to be like 3 more years down the road.
Awesome. And and I definitely agree with the trends and the brands that you guys are sticking behind. I believe that it takes a special IBO to be able to say, like you and Melissa, that, you guys are almost giving 24-hour support, and that's definitely awesome to be able to give that kind of support. With clients with 24-hour schedules, you never know when someone's going to need you, and so it's good that they know that they have a company behind them that can. So now I do have just one more question for you. If a lot of people out there don't know who Brody is his dog. And I saw a picture of him, and I just loved him. Did Brody want to come on the mic and say anything for us today?
You know what? Today I can't. Today he's not. I know yesterday when you and I were talking, he was all about the camera, and today he's not. I don't know what's up with that.
Like you said, I think you put too much emphasis on the camera today, so he probably, yesterday he kind of didn't know. It was kind of a shock. So. But
I know. I think he understood what was happening today.
Yes, now he did. Because you got dressed up for the occasion.
Yeah.
But we definitely wish you, your team leader, Talina, and Brody, much success, and for every one of the 60-plus people who are with your IBO, and we just will hope that you continue to grow as well.
Thank you.
Not a problem. And, again, we just want to thank you so much for tuning in with us. My name is Letitia. This is our premiere show for our Blog Talk Radio show with May We Help You. And we just wanted to kind of give you some perspective from different point of views, and now we want to take you with our new Arise career woman. She is a client support professional. And the person who we're going to bring on next is going to be Janice. Janice is a CSP that recently started servicing the client that handles the tax preparation services. Welcome, Janice.
Hi. How are you?
Oh, I'm doing very well, and thank you so much for tuning in and wanting to come on and talk on the show. Now, it's just from my understanding that you've recently, as I stated, started your career. You work for the tax preparation client, and if anybody wants to know who that is, you have to ask us offline, but we'll be willing to share that information for you. But I know that you've been out of work for quite some time.
Yes, I've been out of work before training with my client for about 12 years.
Okay. Now, when you were in training, what were some of the challenges that you faced during that period?
That's a good question. Well, when I was training with the client, technology-wise, I would say I had a lot of catching up to do. But the class instructors and even your team leader provides great instruction and assists with a step-by-step process to make servicing the client easier every day.
Awesome. Awesome. And would you definitely just describe yourself as computer savvy?
When I was working in the collections field, I could run the system backwards and forwards and was responsible for most of the shutdown procedures at the close of business. But 20 years ago, a lot of the older process was backup disks and recorded ledgers. But now with so many databases, online backup systems, the instant chats, and so on, I can honestly say I had some catching up to do.
Awesome. All right. Well, I just want to let our listeners know a little something, the difference between being, what the IBO is responsible for, what Arise is responsible for, and what the client's responsibility to the virtual rep like Janice is. When you have a question about the company you choose to service, a question about that client, that will usually go to like your team leader or your QAPF as we call it. But customer service techniques and maybe some system navigation assistance and additional training can also be found with most of your IBOs like myself, Sean, or Melissa. If we know about the client, we're definitely willing to take the time to kind of give you that extra assistance. Now, Arise has tech support for your system errors and will always provide a chat room for you. But client assistance or customer takeovers, that definitely goes to your chat room and your client. Now, Janice, have you had to go to any of your support channels since you've been servicing with the tax preparation? Oh, good. And how would you rate their assistance and their service?
I would say that it has been excellent. All the support tools are first-rate technology. You also have supervisors on site to help you with any issues you might need help with. Everything is there. Everything is there.
That is good, because I know that that's a lot of questions that some people have, is that, is there something going on that I don't know about? Is there something that I'm going to need help with? And to know that you have that outside channel that you can reach out to for tech support or supervisors, would you say it was hard to reach them?
No,
Okay.
Not at all. They're
awesome.
just a chat away.
And that's perfect. Well, great. Thank you so much for telling us about your experience thus far and your new career choice. We do wish you much success and growth to come, Janice.
Thanks. Thanks for having me on May We Help You Blog Talk Radio Show, and much success for your doing, too.
Oh, thank you so much. Excellent. Thank you. And again, if you're just tuning in, we hope that you had a chance to hear at least from some of the independent business owners or even the client support professional that we did have on the line. I'm going to just kind of take a peek over here and ask, we have a couple of people hanging out with us in the Google Plus chat room. Does anybody have any questions about anything they heard or is new to the Arise experience and just wanted to know a little bit more about what we're doing? Because you have enough people here that can answer a couple of your questions for you. And I'm going to also peek outside the room, too. Now, I do see that we had a question that came in through Twitter, and it was basically about the process itself and how you get started. So how you get started as a Rise professional is you do fill out the profile, and depending on whose website you go to or if you've been brought in by an independent business owner, they may also have those tools available on their website. And we're going to give Melissa and Sean's website at the end here so that you have a channel to start with, and even May We Help You myself as well. And once you fill out your profile, the next step is doing a voice assessment. And a voice assessment is just to make sure that, one, you can follow instructions. The next thing is that you can speak clearly and can be heard. The next one is a background check. After you pass your background check, you sign a non-disclosure agreement right online. And the last part is you go ahead and you take care of your client training for Arise itself. You have to become a Arise specialist in order to even look at any of their client lists. Once you do that, you get to see who the clients are. You sign up with the client. You start taking their training. And I've had someone even an hour after their training completed, they started taking calls. These are not outbound calls. We're not sending you a kit of things to sell. These are jobs that you're doing from your home, virtual call center. And the cool thing about virtual call center is that you get to actually participate in the company itself. You know, you are the company. You're just at home. And let's see here. I think I do have another question here on Facebook. Well, the question was, how fast can the process be? Sean, would you like to answer that? Give me a high five if you'd like to answer that. All right, and I'm going to let Sean answer that question here. Just give me 1 second to get back to Sean. Okay, Sean, you have the mic.
Well, it's actually funny that you bring that up because we had I talked to a CSP on the phone 2 days ago, and she had started nothing with Arise at that point. We spoke on the phone. Later that day, she completed the background check, the voice assessment check, signed up for CSP 101, and yesterday she actually completed CSP 101, and she'll be joining the IBO. So you can really get a majority of the process done pretty quickly, and then once you start training for the client, it really depends on which client you choose, but the expectations are set at that point before you even sign up for that client, so you know how long that training is.
And so generally it's basically how long you take to sign up. If you sign up right away, then you can get started as soon as you sign up for a client and they have training. If you hold on your own time, then it can take longer. I'm just going to place you really quickly back on hold because I'm going to go ahead and give you guys information. So if anybody wants to get in contact with either of the IBOs that they've heard from today, we definitely have that information here available for you. You can definitely get in touch with Melissa Courtney at Courtney Virtual Solutions. She has a Facebook, facebook.com/Courtney Virtual Solutions. We all make it easy for you. And her website is www.courtneyvirtualsolutions.webs.com, easy. Spolen Solutions can be found at also Facebook, facebook.com/Spolen Solutions, and can also be found at www.spolensolutions.com. How easy is that? Remember, I'm Letitia. I can be found at www.maywehelpyou.net. We are on the blogtalkradio.com/MWHYLLC. That stands for May We Help You LLC. We're going to be on YouTube this issue. We're going to be on iTunes, and you can find YouTube under Letitia McDougall. Also, we are going to be doing this weekly. Awesome, right? So the next guest we're going to have is a tax professional for people who are IBOs, independent contractor, any of our 1099ers that need tax help. Join us next week. Our guest then will be able to, her name is Janice. She owns JB Solutions, and she'll be giving us some great information on our tax help for all of us. We're going to end the recording very shortly, but we're still going to be live with anyone who's in Google or watching us from the website or YouTube. But if you are tuned in through the phone or tuned in through iTunes, it will cut off on you in just a few moments, but we're still going to be hanging out. I'm now going to just give you a little bit more information about May We Help You and seeing how we help our community. So we actually started in 2004, May We Help You, providing business solutions and job placement services. After joining our local Chamber of Commerce, we assisted in starting the domestic violence programs, and we partner with the Welfare to Work programs, and joining the local fundraising programs in Black Enterprise Services. And anyone who's worked with me in the past knows that I always was doing something extra. I was never concentrating on one thing for some reason, and this is why, because I was always doing May We Help stuff. But once we learned of Arise, we kind of focused a little differently. We changed our whole model and making sure that we were providing these awesome opportunities to just not bring in contractors to work directly through May We Help You, but to grow brands and build up more businesses throughout. So we have done Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, and Google Plus is where you can find our communities. We started this radio show so that we can bring in contractors to just give other information about what they do. So we're not always just going to talk Arise here, but because of the fact that we are partnered with Arise, we wanted to make sure we covered that first. But as I stated, we're going to have tax services, CRM programs, and so much more because it's awesome to be a contractor. So I'm going to go back into the Google Hangout now that the show is ended. We're still live on the show. We're just no longer on the air. So to make it even more fun and a little more chaotic, I'm going to let you guys loose in case anyone has any questions. And what you can do is at the top, you will find your mute button. Feel free, and I'm not going to unmute me, but I'm going to unmute everything else. And you guys can feel free here. We have some people that just got in, and there's a couple of people that got in and was in the last 10 minutes, so now they're asking questions. But anyone else that was able to tune in with us, did you guys have any questions or concerns or anything that we can handle for you? And I'm going to unmute myself there now. Can you guys hear me now? No, you want to? Yeah, you can exit out of the show itself. It's still recording, though. So no bad language, anyone. But did we have any other questions or anything that anybody else wanted to cover while we're all here and you got all of this awesome talent that can answer these questions for you? And I'm just answering things because I had some people that were definitely asking questions. They were listening through the radio. They either called in. We had actually a lot of callers that were listening in the dial-in. So we definitely wanted to thank everyone who called in to listen to the information. So they were on Facebook asking me questions. And give me 1 second because one person wants to come into the Hangout, so I'm going to give her the code now that I can talk to people outside. And bio. There we go. And she should be coming in. She's actually a CSP that recently started her process. And everyone who's here that is not with Arise would not appreciate this as much as people who are. Mary Ann, the lady that's in the purple hat, just passed her CSP course the other day. So I just want to give a round of applause to Mary Ann for completing such a feat. I know now that the CSP course is probably not as easy breezy as when I went through it. And she tackled it and defeated it. And like Sean said, and she did it in one day. So it took me 2 days because it was longer than what it is now, but it's still not as quick as it was. But we definitely we're always congratulating CSPs that do an awesome job, and we just thank everyone so much for taking that feat, taking that dive, jumping right in, and, joining us in this march and doing what we do. Now, Sean, do you have any of your CSPs that you would like to give a shout-out? Because I'm still live on the air myself, and I can definitely mention them here. Leandra. Hi, Leandra. Hi, Brittany. Awesome. Well, we love people who are working. Oh, let me tell her it's full. That's why I won't let her in. All right. So I definitely want to give Janice is one of my CSPs, and she stood up and took this dive for us. I have a couple of people who started the process. Renee, thank you so much for tuning in. Wanda, I know you're outside of the room right now. We thank you so much for tuning in and hanging out with us today. We have Shadi that hung out with us today. We have Tezera, who hung out with us today. And let's see here. We had Robin, who hung out with us today. I'm telling you, we actually had a lot of people that were in kind of like the back end. There was so many different ways to watch the show. And if anyone's missed it, they can definitely come back to the radio station and watch the show. And I'm also going to give the IBOs permission if they want to embed it on their sites, they definitely can. Melissa, is there anyone that you wanted to give a special shout-out that you know might be watching the show behind the scenes? Awesome. Janet, Melissa is very proud of you, and so are we. We're definitely congratulating you on your success and your drive. And, you know, we say it over and over again, if you have the willingness to learn, we're not saying that you are not taking a course to become a barber, a surgeon, or medical assistant, but some clients have more system than you probably are used to working with. That doesn't mean it's impossible because they are there to assist you in taking your time and learning it. We put together study groups for the client that I was working with because they, to me, I think they're one of the most challenging, not because they're hard to work for, but because I work for a telecommunications company and they change their technology so much. Every day there's a new cell phone that's come out. And so it's just sometimes more information we have to learn. Does that make it hard? No. Does that make it easy? No. Does it make it worth it during payday? Absolutely. Absolutely. Well, I'm going to go ahead and close the live feed now so that we can stop the broadcast. Again, we want to thank our guest, Melissa, and our guest, Sean. You guys are definitely awesome. You guys rock at what you do, and I look forward to having you on a future show as well. Stay tuned right here in the Google Plus room. I'm just going to close out the back window here for the Blog Talk Radio Show, and we will see you guys on March 7th with our next guest, and we're going to be talking tax. Bye-bye.